Hey y'all, it's Nomadic Shaman here. Thank you for visiting my page. Today's video is going to be a follow-up. I'm going to provide Gangstalking updates, what's been going on with me, what I've been experiencing over the past 3 weeks. Now, for you all who do know, or for those who don't know, December 4th was a full moon. So with that, the 3 days leading up to the full moon and the 3 days coming from the full moon holds the most potent lunar energy for those who are part of cults, covens, practitioners that use the lunar energy for their spell work, whether it's rituals, ceremonial, witchcraft, however you choose to name it, any way you choose to define the energy manipulation. This is around the time that they use it. 3 days leading up, 3 days coming down. Okay. Now, with that said, this is also around the time that they try to harvest, and siphon energy. So they do this purposely by evoking a strong emotional reaction from you. Anything goes, okay? They don't have standards. Anywhere from any petty annoyances, grievances, nuances to just full out diabolical shit, okay? Now, with that said, it's nothing new. I've mentioned this before where upward to 3 different covens who are part of the same network have simultaneously have been doing spell work on me as far as witchcraft, baneful magic, dark magic, and low vibrational shit, okay? I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. So if anything, this has taught me to stay on top of my shit as it relates to cleansing, clearing, transmuting, removing, releasing, and protection, y'all. If anything, that's what this has taught me. So these past few days have been no different, okay? I'm going to share with you all, and I do this to educate, empower, and inform, because how else can one best protect themselves without knowing what they're protecting themselves from? Okay, so this is partially the reason why I do this outside of the obvious. Okay, now the other part that I wanted to mention is I have a lot of things I want to cover. But before I go into this, I gotta say this. So this video, all of the contents within this video is for edutainment purposes only. Please use your own discernment. Now that has gotten away, let me share with you all some of the things that went up on. Okay, now it's no secret. I've made mention that your girl lives in the DMV. I live in Virginia, so that's there. But I'm here. Here is different than there, but they still manage to follow me here. And a few things is, they've trespassed on this property. I noticed that they had dropped some type of berries in the backyard. I thought that were blueberries, but Spirit told me no. So when I was doing research, I found out that they were called chokeberries. So you already know, number one, what the intention was. With the name of chokeberries, that tells me, okay, they were trying to attack my throat chakra. But outside of trying to attack my throat chakra, when I looked up the benefits of chokeberries, it is to help the heart, the blood flow. So that told me that they were trying to do the very opposite. Okay, they were trying to affect the blood flow of the heart, bring on heart issues, health attacks. In addition to that, they were trying to restrict blood flow, maybe even do love spells. I don't know the specifics, but I can gauge what it was, what the intent was behind it, merely from looking at the benefits, okay, of chokeberries, okay, but it's all in the name, right? So that's what I found. I found that dumped in the backyard. In addition to that, I've experienced the water meter lid coming on and off, people constantly calling the phone, it ring off the hook back to back to back. When it's answered, no one is saying anything, they hang up. This is just a way to agitate and to pull on your energy, y'all. Okay? At least that was the intent for me. Earlier on, okay, so let me just run down the list, y'all, because there's a lot. First things first, the cruise. So originally I had mentioned that the people who were originally the intention was Diana, Rose, and Nora to be on a cruise. In their planning stages, these were the three. Somewhere between the planning stages and up until now, that did not happen, nor did not end up being on the cruise. And Spirit told me partially is the last video that I did. Last video that I did where I spoke about the cruise, I spoke about the intentions behind the original planning. An emergency meeting was called, plans were changed, names were transferred, and voila, new people were occupying the space that was intended for them. Now, to the right of me, there was a couple. Right off the bat, I knew that they were from the DMV area based off of their accents. So it wasn't far-fetched for me to think, okay, is there a connection, either a Nora connection or Diana connection? Now, it wasn't until Spirit woke me from out of my sleep that I heard a conversation with a young man, the black man, 32 with locks. His girl goes by the name of Lil Bit, and he is in the DMV area. I heard him have a conversation with another man. And in that conversation, a lot of things were confirmed for me. A confirmation that the placement of that room was intentional. The confirmation that he knew and was in communication with Diana, as he was to be the eyes and ears, okay? Because Nora was no longer, her sister was no longer on the cruise. I also learned additional information which would fall under defamation and slander. That what she shared with this man, sexual escapades, my freak meter, me engaging in threesomes and orgies, basically the freak of the week, and I would be the freak of the week for him. How and where did she get this information? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know this bitch. But she sure know me. Only way I know her is because she's tapped into my energy so much. Spirit's like, what you want to know? Okay. So anyways, this is the information. A lot of the confirmation that I received. Which is why the last video I had mentioned, I'm not going to reveal this man's government name, even though he was working in partnership and in tandem with Diana. The name was transferred to him, okay? The name was transferred to him. The room that was originally Nora's, but the decision for the selection of him to take that room came directly from Diana. Now, what's keeping me from sharing his government name is based on the conversation that he had with his friend, early in the morning that he wasn't given all of the information and he was giving inaccurate and wrong information, which is why I'm not going to reveal his full government name. However, what I will say is when I tapped into your energy, Spirit said that you may have slept with Diana. Could have happened in the month of November. If this is the case, you need to get tested, as there stands a high chance or probability that she transmitted HIV to you. Okay, so the only way that you're going to be sure that you don't have it is to get tested. That's if you slept with her in the month of October or November. Now, when I did tap into your energy regarding that, I also tapped into your girlfriend's energy a little bit. At that time, she had not contracted the disease. So, this bitch want to go ahead and tell lies on me about sexual proclivities and my behavior and escapades. I don't know how the fuck she knows. Where your girl has been celibate for 3.5 years. Houseway. Okay? And even in my moments where I wasn't celibate, your girl still wasn't getting down like that. So houseway. Okay, that's number one. Number two, for all those who are part of her cult, coven, engaging in sex magic, and you somehow got tested and found out that you are HIV positive, your source, guess who? Okay? This woman was engaging in reckless sex with multiple people as an escort prostitute for money and for favors, and she happened to contract this disease. She didn't tell the people that she was engaging in sex, especially part of this cult coven, that she had it. In fact, she lied and said that she got it from somebody else. She blamed it on me. This is what Spirit had informed me. At one point or another, she blamed it on me. I was the reason behind it. Whereas the truth is, she was the source behind all of you contracting the HIV, including her brother. Spirit had also informed me how y'all get down. Listen, I'm not going to even go there. But trust me when I say I know way more about y'all personal business than I share on here, because y'all all up in mine. Okay? I just choose not to divulge it. Now, let's move on. Before I do though, let me just make this clear. For those who are part of the cult, coven, engaging in sex magic, you have contracted HIV and you had sex with Diana or was fucking people who were fucking Diana in the midst of your rituals, she is the source. A lot of people out here got HIV thinking somehow I'm the culprit. Meanwhile, this bitch is straight up in your face, lying to you, lying on me from A to Z. Anyways, we're at 14 minutes. Let's move on. So, the next part that I wanted to speak on was, although Nora didn't attend the cruise, she was here in Florida as a traveling nurse, taking care of business. That business partially or mostly was me, because I was in Florida at the time. So then Spirit shared with me Number one, let's go back. The cruise. Spirit shared with me there were 5 people on the cruise. 3 women, 2 men, 2 couples, 1 woman. Okay. Being the eyes and ears, the one couple closest to me, right next door to me in room 6514, is the one who had the connection with Diana, who was communicating with Diana via a digital device, were her eyes and ears on me. Okay, that's how come I could hear their business when he was talking in that early in the morning. Spirit woke me up. I heard everything. Let's move on. Anyways, the next thing is they paid for an Uber driver. Nora did, okay, to pick me up. Now, this particular Uber driver was he was prompted with information on my life, on the people that are connected to me. And so he used that information and injected it within the conversation. You know how sometimes you're in a conversation with somebody and they slip up and say something and you're like, how the hell did you know that? Because I didn't tell you. But it's like based on the conversation that's had, you knew or could tell that they were privy to information prior to, and yet they didn't get that information from you. That's how that conversation went. But I didn't say anything. I just observed. Okay. So they went ahead and they paid this dude. This dude was sharing certain information as it relates to my personal information, what's going on in my life, also what's going on with some of the connections. Okay. He even pulled up in a similar vehicle as one of my friends. That wasn't a coincidence. Bear told me that was purposeful. Okay. Acting just like my friend, y'all, it was just weird. Acting like my friend, sharing details, divulging details, personal details similar to my friend, but it was for him. Down to the vehicle. He even mentioned traveling nurses. And I know that Nora's a traveling nurse, okay? Down to the specialized field. Let's continue. So he was paid. He was paid to accept a ride that I had scheduled for my cruise. Okay. Anyway. So Spirit told me Nora was here between November 17th and November 20th. This guy went ahead and picked us up on November 20th, okay? So she spent 4 days here before she went back to wherever she went back to. Now, they had also informed me that the connection between Nora and the cruise and the guy that was sitting or taking space in the room next to me is that was her room originally. I said, houseway, Spirit, tell me. So Spirit, that's exactly what Spirit did. Spirit informed me that Diana was actually the one who called the cruise line, requested to have a room next to me. I don't know what she told him or her, but got a room next to me, which originally was supposed to be Nora's room. But then Nora decided not to come on the cruise. And I believe it was after the video that I said, okay. Plans were changed. Name changes were done. When I called the cruise, they told me that they did name changes up to the day before. So that makes sense, okay? I said beforehand, I'm not going to reveal the young man's name. I'm just going to say he's 32. He's a 90s baby. He has locks. He's from the DMV. Now, what else did I want to, because there's a lot of stuff, y'all. There's so much stuff. Let's some of the other stuff, where are we at? You know what? I'm going to stop here and resume in my next video. See you. Peace. Peace out. See you on the next one. All right, y'all.